Atiku challenges FBI to release Tinubu drugs documents, saying Nigeria wants to know who is their president. I know that it's Atiku that paid those people that are investigating Tinubu in US and saying that they should release his drug documents, but I don't think those ones want to release anything. They are really hiding something from us, but it is what it is. We already know with the kind of person our president is. If they like, they should release it. If they like, they should not release it. Former Vice President and African Democratic Congress presidential candidate Atiku Abubakar has challenged the FBI with reported claim that releasing records concerning President Bola Tinubu could endanger lives, arguing that Nigerians are already facing serious threats to their lives and livelihoods. Atiku, through his senior special assistant on public communications, Frank Shaibu, said many Nigerians have died from terrorism and banditry, while others are struggling with hunger, unaffordable healthcare, rising transport costs, and economic hardship. He blamed President Tinubu's economic policies, particularly the removal of fuel subsidy, for worsening the situation. He urged the FBI to release any information about Tinubu that can legally be made public, while protecting confidential sources, investigators, and sensitive law enforcement methods. Atiku said Nigerians have a right to information about the background and character of someone seeking to remain president. Atiku also defended his proposal to restore fuel subsidy if elected in 2027, saying his planned subsidy would be targeted, transparently financed, capped, and independently audited to prevent corruption and diversion. Atiku, you are not a good candidate. Nobody is going to vote for you. Just forget about it. Everyone says you are just wasting your time. Akitide says the US lobby group actives, yes, using blackmail to squeeze money out from suspected world leaders. Akitide says Atiku had forgotten his role in selling out Nigeria by involving in Transcorp saga. Obasanjo is still alive, the crown witness. What is he looking for again? Robson says Atiku is not better than Bola Tinubu. He's not. Other than people, if there are no other candidates, let's assume that Peter Obi is not there now, and it's just Atiku and Tinubu, I'm sure people would prefer to vote for Tinubu than to vote for Atiku. Badibo says Atiku is here now. He needed psychiatric mental care. That's all. Even the man you're appealing to has the worst morale in the history of the US presidency. Can you see the irony? Just pity this thief that stole half of Nigeria, yet dragging a man who had outtwisted his nuts to the political chess home game. Edmond says, we know the truth. Let's focus on his inabilities in his government, his failures. Is he pushing drugs now? He's creating poverty in Nigeria and stealing our wealth. That's enough damage. That's enough damage. Prince Odo says, if it was a civil case, does that make it no offense? If yes, it makes it no offense. Defend it. What would have happened to him if he did not forfeit the $460,000? Nothing. If nothing, defend it. If something would have happened to him, it's set aside or vendors know the argument that is a civil case. Did he not know that the people who deal in illegal drugs incur consequences upon themselves? If the forfeiture was because of an offense, they must bear the punishment. Okay, Wingo says, don't mind FBI, they are lying. I don't think they are lying, but obviously they've probably been settled to not release those information out. Godwin says, US may have been acting like a corrupt country where anything can be bought with money. Yes, they have been acting like that. Fubara says, Atiku na by force to be president. And who said you are better? Another thief, exactly. Same. Mr. Daniel says, Nigerians already know Tinubu is international Bologbo. But however, you yourself, Atiku, you are an opportunist. Your own might be worst if you eventually rule Nigeria. So go and look for a chair and sit down one place. And Kena says, what money cannot do, more money will do it. It's now a battle of the highest bidder. Corruption is everywhere, including US. Ifeanyi Ebo says, where is the likes of Daniel Bwala, Reno Omokri, Festus Keyamo and Co? Have they suddenly gone dumb? This is the real time to defend your president, your real opponent now in the US government, and not Peter Obi. Asita says, Nigeria should know whom their president is. I support you. If some Nigerians are not fools, How can they be calling a drug trafficker president? Well, is he not our president? He's our president, whether we like it or not. Even if he rigged his way in or anything, he's still the one ruling us in this country. Collector says you're on your own, alone by yourself, for yourself and yourself only. Dashan Haija says the opposition are contributing 70% of the insecurity in the country. Stop that hypocrisy. Okola says everybody gets in for body. Now so my sister. Omorege says, is that your campaign manifesto, Mr. Property Seller? Corruption says you're just making a fool of yourself. Are you saying Nigerians do not know Asiwaju and they voted for him in 2023? Why are you wasting your time pursuing shadows? Do you think this your rhetoric will make Asiwaju to lose a single vote? You are really dreaming. Can I shock you? Asiwaju will defeat you, Atiku Abubakar and Peter Obi together. Colin Sigbo says, we already know our president, so no amount of propaganda can make me hate Tinubu. After all, it's worse than Boko Haram politician in the north who wants to grab power by force. Onabuchi says, what's wrong with everywhere? Why are they delaying Tinubu's document? I really wonder. But Charles says, in all honesty, we are not comfortable with Atiku Abubakar telling us that he will prevent corruption and diversion. He cannot say that to us at all. Nobody is even falling for that. Nobody's falling for that. Tunde Adekimi says, Mr. Corruption wants to remove corruption. We are opening up your corruption case in the past 50 years. Soonest. Mark Anzar says, we actually want to know the truth about the drug issue because we can't fold our arms and keep somebody who is supplying bad drugs to our brothers and sisters who are currently undergoing treatment for psychiatric because of the drugs brought into this country. Akemi says, all what Alhaji Atiku is asking for is not so much. For someone to be a country president, he should possess some dignity and prestige. True, but if they are not releasing it, what are we going to do? But this says, is that your campaign manifesto idea? Idealist political jobber. You think like me can give you victory? You deceive yourself. And Wana Clement said, this is very right. Abolade says, kettle calling pot black. Charles Anarode says, this is an ample opportunity for USA to confirm their leadership of the free world. Mind you, even though Nigeria is a third world country and do not have any known leverages that will make USA afraid or conscious of the power of such a small country or image or continued control or influence, the whole world is anxiously watching to see if USA will stand for the truth for the common people of Nigeria or be quieted by bribes and influences from a drug dealer. Please, my listeners, don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Thank you for listening. See you some other time. Bye.